Hello, everybody. Joe Bacon Donuts here, and welcome back for another episode of Tsukihime Remake. Where last time we left off, Roa is like dead, maybe. Except he can't be. It's too early in the story. And is it even Roa or is it Shiki? I think once the metamorphosis is complete from up there I go. I'm doing it again. Four stop. Fucking open up task programmer, shut off or task manager. That's what it's called. Task manager and manually close the program on my brain that wants to, as I was saying, once Shiki, all capitals, I got to find a way to differentiate that in speech. Because in writing, it's easy. They can just do all caps for Shiki, and regular Shiki is just Shiki. It's really simple. Uh, I maybe like find a way to put the emphasis on a different syllable. Like our guy is Shiki, but he's Shiki. You know what I mean? I'll allow it that one time because that was a proper use of the phrase instead of just using it as a filler word. But yeah, I think once he goes from the white hair to the black hair, he's no longer Shiki and he's officially on the spids Michael. Because I can't say his full name because it's goddamn ridiculous. Stupid European name. But yeah, for once, it's not my fault that I'm late on recording. I actually did get called in on my day off, just like I expected I would. Which I wasn't there for the full day, but it was busy the time that I was there, and I just wasn't in the mood to record afterwards. And then now here we are, recording 2 hours after I got home from a regular work day, which was honestly fairly busy too. It was one of those days where we're not supposed to be busy, but particularly for my group of individuals, fires kept popping up left and right, and we eventually had to branch out into like different teams to try to smother them all. Because if you ignore one, the whole place is gonna burn down. But it's quicker, and you can smother the fire better if you have more hands on it. But the more hands you have on one fire, the more the other ones are gonna spread and burn everything down and ruin life for you later. So you just decide to divvy it all up and then go less amount of hands on all the fires, but they're all being managed at once. So it might take a little bit longer, but you're dealing with smaller, less catastrophic fires, so to say. Uh, and then I had to then I had to stay late to schedule some things, and then I just got off the phone finishing scheduling those things because they fucked up scheduling it the first time. Then I had to call my family for reasons. It's not a bad thing. It was just a regular kind of check-in call. But yeah, here we are at 6:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, recording some Tsukihime Remake after I just ate dinner too, because I knew I was going to be busy for a while dealing with the scheduling thing, and I didn't go grocery shopping today because I had to stay late for work, and I really didn't want to spend any longer away from home. So I just ordered some good chicken udon from this Korean fusion place near me. Now, say what you will, most fusion places are fucking ass. They're just like random Asian cuisine plus sushi on the side. And the sushi is usually mid to bad. Like, it's usually not good. But this place actually has a really good sushi. And I can say that because, world traveler over here, I've eaten plenty of sushi and sashimi in Japan and also on the west coast of the US in restaurants owned by the first generation Japanese immigrants. Really, really good fatty tuna. It's like one of those places where it's $20 for 3 strips of sashimi, but it's so good. Like there's the chunk of fucking fish. If you've never seen the tuna in real life, they're massive. And they're just able to carve out like fucking 50-pound slabs out of that bitch and slap it on the counter, on ice. And just cut off the pieces they need to serve to you. Mwah. Delish. But yeah, the screen went black, which means it's time to get this show on the road. And also, there's no background music, and I get really self conscious about that because there's nothing at whatsoever to cover up my bad cadence, the little flubs I make, biting my tongue, mispronouncing words. It's all on display with the minimum distraction for you, the listener, and maximum distraction to me, the speaker, because I have to listen to myself and make all those stupid, shitty little mistakes. But yeah, let's get this boat in the water and get on started, huh? Take a sip of my coffee first. Ugh. Hopefully I'm able to speak good today. I know I said I was about to start, but you got to give me this. One last thing. My jaw has been kind of sore. Uh, I've been really not grinding my teeth in my sleep, but I definitely like grit my teeth and like clamp my jaw shut in my sleep. I'll probably talk to my dentist about it, in all honesty. Maybe even get a sleep study done. Because I do have a little bit of sleep apnea. I know that. My roommates, whenever I travel, say it sounds like I'm fighting demons in my sleep. Which is probably why I don't get the most restful sleep in the world. Which is why on my weekends I sleep for 16 hours. Because a good night's sleep for me is hard to come by. And who knows? I don't think I'm stressed. I really don't lead that stressful of a life, and I'm really good at stress management. Not to brag here, but having a fairly easy job, all my bills and utilities covered. Like I'm not wanting financially, and I have my lovely hobby of recording these videos for my lovely subscribers, which is why you should like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and join the Discord down below. I have to start adding that on now because I keep forgetting it exists. Well, not me. I'm on there like every single day. It's just there's only me. But that's fine. I don't need any any friends or anything. No, I got plenty of real friends and hot girls to talk to. But if they're not available, then you want to be on there to talk or something, just feel free. It's in the description. The links, it's always been there. I'm pretty sure it's in my channel description too. Not the one like under the video, but if you go to my channel page, it's like up on the top. At least I think that's where it is. Anyway, too many tangents. Let's go. White. The color pulls an old memory from the corners of my mind. Yeah, that's when my sister dunked my head in the snow when I was like 3, and I was super upset because I didn't have a hat on. Something I had long forgotten. Something I had no choice but to forget. Something that my father had ordered me to forget. Also, I was a little delayed in recording this video because I was having some visual issues on OBS, and I had no idea what was causing it. But then I eventually found out it's because I had a card reader plugged in right next to the like HDMI adapter that I used as like a throughput from the switch to my computer. And for whatever reason, that card scanner was fucking with the signals or something and causing like just visual glitches, kind of like it was like crunching, like the video would like shrink and like weird color bars would come on the bottom, kind of like an old tube TV that was going out of focus, or I had like the test display coming up, but it was only for like flash seconds, and in some parts of the screen I had no idea what was causing it until I found that out. That took me like 10 minutes because I had forgotten I plugged it in and didn't think of it, because why would it do that? But it did, apparently. It was a hot summer day. Huge, fluffy clouds cover the blue sky. The air shimmers with heat, and the keening of cicadas eats at me. The cries of cicadas when they cry. I would love to do a Higurashi read-through, but I won't. I've already seen the anime, and, some of the tertiary material, and I feel like that'd make for a poor read-through. It's so loud I wish I was dead. Cicada husks are scattered around. Feels like if the beating sun is right on top of us. Burning, sizzling, scorching the clearing. A hot midsummer day. It's as if the world has warped into one massive frying pan. Keep going, Shiki. Just ignore the grinding sounds of me moving my fucking microphone boom. Sobbing. Little girl sobbing. Me punching the fucking pop filter. Aki is crying. The little girl who's always following after me is weeping into her hands. A child is on the ground. He lies deathly still, his white shirt stained a deep red. Kids are tough. They'll bounce back. I gaze down at them. My hands drip with that same red. No, that's not right. My hands are soaked in its blood.
Tsuki!
Yeah, because they can't spell it out because it would give it away. So it's like, oh, you know, just in a daze, I couldn't hear it. The adults are here. Their faces contort as they realize what's transpired. You can see the way he said it. He said in all caps. That was the secret. They drag Akiya away. The other thing is dead. Towering white clouds sail high above in the distance. Left alone, I gaze up vacantly at the summer sky. Look, man, like, things happened. The adults are yelling. They're yelling the killer's name. My name. Screaming the same two syllables over and over like they've lost their minds. Just two syllables. The adults cry out Shiki as they bear down on me. My hands are drenched in blood. I still don't understand. Killing that which can be killed. Killing that which lives. What's wrong with that exactly? Well, unironically, we live in a society, and you can't just do that. The social contract will be broken, and society will not function. And humans are social pack animals, and we cannot exist at our best like that. I open my tightly shut eyes. My dreams were familiar somehow. Something I didn't fully understand. Ellipses. I'm in my room. I remember losing consciousness in front of the gate, but I don't recall how I got here. Oh, you know, fucking Teach just caved in your fucking chest cavity with her boot. My mind is still sluggish. The events of last night come back to me in a scrambled mess. So many crazy things happened that I have trouble processing it all. One part that does stand out. The white woman, the black man, or Miss Noel. Probably Arcueid, in all honesty, if I can remember where I am on the days here. Yeah, Arcueid. Because we're on the Arcueid route, so you need to think of Arcueid. Really, that girl. Yeah, just freaking out from seeing your blood, almost like she's a ravenous vampire or something, trying to hold back her urges. What a weirdo. From ambushing me at school to us patrolling the town, she didn't give me a moment of rest. Oh yeah, there was also that weird fucking affront to God you killed in that parking garage. That belonged in a fucking Dojin game. Ugh. On top of that, we even broke into the zombie's hideout, where she made me watch that intense fight. None of this would have been conceivable for me a week ago. And her demands get more ridiculous with each passing day. Part of me just wants to tell her to cut me some slack. But she's not all bad. Yeah, she's easy to look at least. She's always looking out for me in her own clumsy way, and at least it's never dull with her around. I guess that's why I don't find myself complaining. The thing that worries me is that look she had. Must be because her wound is still causing her pain. I'll have to check up that she's all healed up tonight.
とにかくまず起きないと。
I have other things to worry about. Time to get moving. It's 7:30. Most days, I'd be finished with breakfast by now. Most days, I'd already be at work by fucking half an hour. Usually, she's standing there like a shadow on the wall. I don't see her today. Yeah, almost like they're having an emergency, family meeting that excludes you for important reasons. I bet she came to wake me up a few times. And when I wouldn't budge, she probably gave up and returned to her other duties.
疲れが溜まってて目が覚めなかったんだろうな。
A deep sigh escapes my lips. I'll be sure to take a nap before meeting up with Arcueid tonight. There's no point in letting my thoughts linger over what happened last night. I can just talk it over with Arcueid later. And I don't try to have a normal life during the day at least. What? And if I don't try to have a normal life during the day at least, I might go nuts.
よし、まずは朝食だ。
Honestly, I'm not really that hungry, but I could use the nutrients. Especially after last night. My body needs fuel to shake off this fatigue. Wonk.
Oh.
Yeah, your equilibrium seems to be off there, bud. I tried lifting my body off the bed, only to find myself collapsing right back down. Like a tree felled for lumber. I tumble shoulder first onto the floor. I'm stuck here, unable to move my arms and legs. Thankfully, everything is so hazy that I've yet to panic. My body may be paralyzed, but I'm breathing normally. Must be the anemia again, I think dully, as if it were happening to someone else. And just like that, I spend my morning on the floor, staring at the clock until Hisui comes to check on me just after 8. Hello, Hisui. You should really get this kid a life alert.
申し訳ありません。どうかお叱りください。
Make me your plum sandwiches.
四季様の変調に気がつかなかった。
And feel the embarrassment as you watch me enjoy them. That is your punishment.
翡翠は悪くないよ。いつものことだし、そう大げさに取らない。
I'm lying on my bed with my back propped up against the headboard. If it weren't for Hisui, I'd still be planted on the floor.
学校の方には姉さんが連絡を入れてくれました。体調不良による欠席でよろしいのですね。
I mean, it's accurate, so yeah.
うん、それで頼む。ちょっと疲れが溜まっていただけだから。
Yeah, you'd rather
学校
avoid
を
missing
休むの
school
は調べ
for
たいけどね。
passing out head first on the floor? I'm sure you'd get a lot of good learning done there in this condition.
立てなくなるほどの疲れは、もう疲れとは言えないかと存じます。四季様は遠野家の長男。ご自分のお体をもっと大切にしていただかなければ困ります。
いや、ちゃんと大切にしてるよ。
I offer an awkward reassurance after Hisui's surprisingly harsh words. Yeah, just ignore the boot-shaped bruise on my chest. Hisui's reaction when she found me sure was something. When she first opened the door, she was frozen stiff for a few seconds, probably thinking you died. She then rushed over to help me with a face full of determination and purpose. She froze again for a solid minute. Flustered, she paced around the room for a few minutes before finally leaving to go get Kohaku. Even though Hisui wasn't the one to physically pick me up, there's no questioning her commitment to my well-being. Which, in all honesty, not the worst decision to make. That he's breathing, he's not unconscious. He's just stuck down there. But you don't know if he incurred any kind of head or neck injury in the fall, and you don't want to move him. So go get the quote-unquote real doctor in the house to deal with it. After that, Kohaku helped me to bed and made me some rice porridge, which brings us to now. The one silver lining to all this is that Akia has already left for school. If I had fallen 30 minutes earlier, she may have been late.
とにかくありがとう翡翠。美味しいご飯も食べたし、こうしていれば貧血も収まるから仕事に戻っていいよ。
I don't know, bud. It's like, sure, rice porridge is good if you're on a bit of a queasy, weak stomach, but it's rice. Like rice and maybe condensed milk or something if they're getting fancy with it. Not a lot of nutrients in there.
かしこまりました。
Like, sure, you're getting carbs, which you need, but
せめて診察は受けていただきます。
you want those green vegetables, you know, get some fucking vitamins.
今朝は荒木先生がいらっしゃいますので、これを機に
I'd rather not.
しっかりお体を見ていただくのはいかがでしょうか。
Oh, what a coincidence. So that oddball doctor's here too, huh? I really don't think I need to be examined, but I doubt Hisui will just let this thing go. Yeah, she seems like the kind of doctor that will just automatically resort to like a multivitamin suppository and just stick it in cold. Let's not hang out with a rock, yeah? Okay. Normal is good, and familiar is good. I'm pretty sure I mentioned before, but you know, devil you know versus the devil you don't. I'll go with Kohaku. I'm sure it's just my anemia acting up again from being so worn out. I'll see if she has anything to help with dizziness and eye strain, and maybe get some supplements too. Though I'd rather avoid having her look at my body. I'm scraped and bruised all over from last night's scuffle with Miss Noelle. And on the off chance Kohaku found that I have internal bleeding or something, it turned into a whole debacle. Shiki, you lout. How did you get yourself injured like this? I can practically hear her scolding me. He's British? Or like a Star Trek mook who gets killed as soon as they go down the planet.
どこでこんなお怪我をこしらえてきたんです？お背中どんより赤いじゃないですか。
Didn't you hear? I fell when I got out of bed.
はい、すみません。反省してます。
Or has nothing to do with Noelle kicking you like fucking 4 meters across the street and then landing flat on your back. Sure enough, it took all of a minute for her lecture to begin. Though I kinda wonder what she means by red shirt.
帰ってくるとき、通学路の坂道で転んじゃって、ドーンと五体投地みたいに。
Yep, right on a banana peel. Couldn't believe it.
それはお気の毒に。
Something straight out of a cartoon.
湿布を用意しますので、しばらくそのままでお待ちください。あ、体温計で熱を測っておいていただけると助かります。
I've never slipped on a banana peel, but I have like left a kind of like a dress sock lying around, you know, that like slick nylon-y material, and I have hardwood floors. And I wasn't paying attention when I was walking, and I stepped right on it, and I was walking like a weird gait. Like I wasn't trying to keep my balance because I'm just shuffling around my house like a zombie. And just one foot just went whoop! Didn't fall, but man did I do the splits. And that fucking hurt like a bitch. First aid kit in hand, Kohaku rises from her seat on the edge of the bed. She could have left it here, but I guess she's too much of a professional for that. I'm used to myself as I watch her exit the room. Yeah, I can't have the patients like rifling around in her bag for Tylenol or something.
琥珀さん、救急箱を置いていっていいですよ。またすぐ戻ってくるんだし。
いえ、こちらはお気持ちを鎮めるものばかりなので、内身専用のものと持ち替えてまいります。
I mean, the only thing you can really do for a bruise is like a cold compress.
それに、ほら、四季さんのお部屋は片付いているので、使用人の私物で散らかしてしまうのは申し訳なくて。
そっか。でも俺の部屋のことは気にしなくていいですよ。別に綺麗好きってわけじゃないし。
Yeah, he just, is a man of little needs. Showed up to the mansion with just a box of stuff, really. Of personal items. The rest are just clothes.
そうなんですか？四季さんのお部屋、とてもさっぱりしていらっしゃいますが。
Well, that's because he barely lives here. He spends the night out in the town.
単に持ち物が少ないだけです。まあたまたまそうなってるだけですけど。
そういえば有馬のお家から届いたお荷物も
Mhm.
お着替えだけでした。四季さんの私物は他にないんですか？
He's into that whole, ascetic lifestyle thing.
うん。カバンに入れてきた
A
ものだけで
modern-day
十分。
traveling monk.
大事なものはここに来るときに全部持ってきた。
My first day here, I stuffed the contents of my bag into my desk drawers. If I ever end up getting kicked out, all I need to do is collect the things in there and I'm good to go.
ごめんなさい。私ったら
That's not really a healthy mindset to have, but so be it.
有馬の家に預けられるとき、
Mark that up
私物
to,
を牧久様に取り上げられたのですね。
ingrained childhood trauma from getting kicked out of the house by your dad when you were like fucking 9.
いや昔からそうだったんだ。欲しいものとかなかったから親父にもねだらなかったし。ああ、ただ事故の前後のことはよく覚えていないから。
Yeah, all kids are little
そ
brats.
の頃はどうだろう。
Asking for this and that. My mind wanders back to my time alone in that hospital room. After days of no visitors and the lines of death keeping me company, I decided to escape that hellhole. Thanks to that, I had the incredible fortune of meeting Master.
そういえば病室から一度だけここに立ち寄った時のこともちょっとうろ覚えだな。親父の書斎に呼ばれたことだけは印象に残っているんだけど。
Yeah, and meeting this weird girl who gave me this ribbon. How strange. I think that was when he said I wasn't fit to be the heir of the Tono estate and disowned me.
きっと長い病院生活でお疲れだったのかと存じます。
But, let's just ignore that white ribbon that's still tucked in that drawer. And that was only mentioned once.
療養中は退屈ですし、一日の感覚も曖昧になっていたのでは？
Ugh, ain't that the truth.
そう思う。結局半年近く入院していたんだって。体感的には1ヶ月ちょいだったんだけどな。
I mean, what? It's 2015 now. That was like 7 years ago. In 2010, did your dad at least bring you like an Xbox 360 or something? You could have passed the time shouting slurs on Xbox Live on Modern Warfare 2, and have a real childhood. Though I didn't do that. Really though, I did play Modern Warfare 2, but I was too much of a straight-laced kid to really be into the whole, call people slurs on the internet thing. And I still am, deep down in my heart.
それはいいことですよ、四季さん。病院とはいえ、個室に半年はなかなかにお辛い経験かと。
Nah, really boring.
ただ
I'm
でさ
surprised you
え
didn't get bed
遊びたい
sores.
盛りの年頃だったのですから。
Kawaku was right. The reason my staying felt so short was thanks to all the people who helped me. I wish I could thank the doctors who saved my life and the nurses who took care of me so kindly. I mean, you could. You can literally just go to the hospital and be like, hey, dude, I was, a pretty much a permanent resident here at this time. Is there anyone still on staff from then? I just want to, swing by, thank them and tell them that my life is doing a lot better thanks to their hard work. I'm sure that would make their day.
と、いけません。つい
Probably
話し
make
込んで
some
し
of
ま
the
いまし
nurses
た。
cry. It'd be like a
す
real,
ぐに
real
戻ってきます
blast.
から、おとなしくしていてくださいましね。手当てが嫌だからってお出かけになられていたら、四季さんを気ままな猫ちゃんに認定です。
Well, at least give them like those treats in the little tube, like the Go-Gurt pouch that all the cats like. She smiles on her way out, the twinkle in her the twinkle in her eye shining brighter than any star. Just stare up at the sun, you fucking freak. It's afternoon now. After having a light lunch, I return to my room. Isui urged me to get some rest today. Not that I have anything to do in the first place.
体の調子は戻ったんだし、ここは
I think you should, like, go take a shower or something. Second floor sounds dangerous because that's where Akia's room is. But she's not home right now, so it's the perfect time to go snooping. What does the guide say? There's a approaching dead end, which, once you know, my snooping idea has terrible repercussions, which we love to see. You love to see it, folks. Wonder how that's gonna work. After mulling over what to do, I decided to take my first walk around the estate in 7 years. I'll start with the second floor. The Tono Mansion is split into the East Wing and the West Wing. The East Wing contains Akia's office, and further in, her private quarters. It's practically her own little kingdom. Remember that, East Wing is for Akia. I'm a little hesitant to intrude, so I'll stick to the West Wing for today. Oh. I'm gonna go try to find your sister's diary or something? I make for the west hallway. The path to my right connects to the lobby. Continuing forward would take me to the heart of the West Wing. The president's over there? And of course, my room is directly behind me. Almost every room facing this hallway is empty. It would have been used by extended family members when my father was alive.
この先の行き止まりが確か
Makihisa Tono's study. Arcueid's words from last night linger in my mind. It's not just you that's special, it's your lineage. Now, that's absurd. But then again, she's not the type to assert something without good reason. I fuck around and find out. Even though it's totally too early in the near far side routes for you to be learning the stuff that's in that office. Which is probably why we get a strange dead end from doing this. I'm completely alone. Some might consider it taboo to snoop around a dead man's room, but it's my house too. Don't I have a right to know what's in there? Also, you know, someone does need to go through his stuff to determine if there's anything of importance in there. Besides, what harm is in taking a quick peek inside my dad's room? You find his gun and you shoot yourself in the head by accident because you're a dumb kid, that's why. The door at the end is locked. I take off my glasses and slice through the lines sitting on the lock. Well, there's no going back now. After a quick check back down the hall once more to make sure no one else is there, I venture in.
なんだこの部屋暗すぎないか
Yeah, it's almost like the person who owns it is dead and isn't staying in here and has no reason to come in here. No one else does. So they just turn off the lights to save electricity. Even with the curtains closed, it shouldn't be this dark. I grope around on the wall for a light switch before stopping myself. Turning on the lights will only broadcast the fact that someone is in here. Probably just being paranoid, but I end up opting for my phone's flashlight instead. Jeez.
なんだ思ったより片付いているじゃないか
I guess they still come into dust at least. The interior is similar to Akia's office. I suppose it's only been a month since he died, so it's not too surprising it's still like this. It's got some nice furniture. I dig the bookshelves, though. Even his bookshelf is the same as it was before he died. Which begs the question, why is it so dark in here? I shine my phone towards the windows to see what's up with the curtains. underneath the darkness, I find something you never expect in an ordinary room. A seal of some kind.
鉄格子なんで
I mean, you could say it's because, Makihisa Tono kept a lot of important and highly sensitive business documents inside his personal office in his home. So it makes sense. After he died, they'd up security to prevent anyone with the balls to break into getting important company secrets. None of this makes any sense. But it's hard to deny something when it's staring you right in the face. In place of windows, I find a section of solid wall. It was this, not curtains, that was blocking out the light. A thick set of iron bars has been mounted across the wall, as if to keep something out. Or perhaps, to keep something trapped within. This looks really bad. Don't know what this darkness means, but I do know that I've stumbled upon something I should have never laid eyes on. A cage of madness. That's what this is. I have to get out of this room right away. The others can't know I was here. Not Akia, not Kohaku, not anybody. Someone found out. Probably damage our relationship beyond repair.
いやここまで来て何ビビってる
I
んだ
mean, it makes sense that he'd probably lock himself up in his office towards the end of his days when he's, inversion impulsing and turning into a literal fucking monster. I continue searching the room, my phone lighting the way. The bookcase also catches my eye, but I don't have time to rummage through it. I'll search Makihisa's desk first. An old man always kept things just so. If there's anything to find, I'm sure that's where I should look. I have documents on me, Akia, or the company hidden in one of his drawers. The first drawers are unlocked, so I check them first. They're totally empty. The third drawer down, however, seems to require a key, just like my desk. The drawers on the side have locks on them, and you might be able to hear it jingling. Have a key for locking them. I don't really keep anything important in there, but it's just how this desk came when I got it. Anyway, moving on. I'm guessing this one hasn't opened since my father died. I take off my glasses once again and kill the lock.
本日記帳か
Mm-hmm. I'll read that. It's too early. Inside the last drawer are a bundle of old papers and a thick book. The papers look to be a Tono family tree.
なんだってこんなところに
Hey, nice. I also have a big
Kiddo.
family tree.
随分と古い紙だな
Family genealogy. It's 2 volumes long and goes back to the mid 1600s to Europe before my family set sail over to here. Well, this must have been passed down from generation to generation. Bingo. Right below Makihisa Tono, I find Shiki Tono and Akia Tono. It's like, huh, that's weird. That's not how my name's spelled. Wait a second.
なんだこれ親父のやつ9年前に養子を取ってる
9 years ago, I would have been 8. I may have been young, but it's pretty weird that I don't have a single memory of them. Maybe it was the child of a mistress that was kept under wraps? But could the old man I know, always no nonsense and by the book, really do something like that?
そんなわけないかけどうちの当主ってみんな短命なんだな
Mm-hmm.
親父も50前に病死したわけだしその前は30歳の時に事故死
Yeah,
So
imagine
my
finding out that your
18歳で
fucking
自
monster
殺している
does some things to your mental state. Hang on a second. That's too weird to just be a coincidence. I pore over the family tree. I didn't read it wrong. Everyone in the Tono family has died under mysterious circumstances. Suicides, accidents, murders, unexplained disappearances. Not a single person on here died peacefully at the end of a long life. I don't know how else to explain it other than that they were cursed. The thing that sticks out the most is that the majority of them took their own lives. Many killed themselves on the eve of their adulthood or soon after. Brutal. Light fades from my vision. There's a sensation of blood pooling in the back of my head. Numbness is spreading through my arms and legs. My breathing grows shallower with each second. My gaze drifts back to the journal, focusing in on it to ward off the rising feeling of vertigo and dread. I flip the page. This one's dated 2004. Halo 2 just came out. Dad's fucking rocking in Zanzibar. That's the same year the child Makihisa adopted passed away in secret. He went into a fit of game rage and threw the giant Xbox Duke controller at his head and killed him. Rest in peace. My eyes dissect each word before moving on to the next. The writing is neat. It looks to be penned by my late father's meticulous hand. I feverishly read the page.
友の一族は呪われている。
Uh-huh, already established.
近代に移ってから生まれてくる子供にはのからの覚醒遺伝が
Yeah, those are probably big kanji that you don't see very often. Century is almost 10 years old. Ink has faded in places, making the words difficult to decipher.
もちろん私も私の子供たちも例外ではない。秋葉には特に
Yeah.
見られる。我が子の未来を思うと悲しい。紹介された医師の話によると、幼年期から厳しく教育すれば発言は今夜も手術が必要だという。
Buddy?
秋葉に教
You're a
え
little too
ることは
focused.
できない。あの子は私を恨むだろう。理由なく厳しく当たる私を憎むだろう。
Mm-hmm.
それもすべて遠野の。
All for the Tono. Who's going under surgery tonight? You getting that Tono gland removed?
だが私は安堵している。どれほど秋葉が後に近と言っても、あの兄に比べれば
Look, man,
秋葉ははるかに
it's hard to
人
hear,
間的だ。
but parents do have a favorite child, no matter what they say to you or others. And it's clear who your dad's favorite child was. What is this? The Tono family is cursed? Latent genes? Surgery for Akia? And who's that last line about? Her brother, her brother, her brother. The answer is obvious.
こんにちは、四季
Yeah.
君。
I was about to say, everyone else is gone. We're here too early. Makes sense we'd get a mysterious visitor. My stomach feels hot. The scar on my chest has gone numb plenty of times. This is an entirely new experience. Excruciating pain erupts from within, like my organs are being branded with an iron rod. Sensation begins slipping away from my toes. I slump against the desk, attempting to brace myself with my hands, but unable to maintain my grip, I fall to the ground back first. Yeah, what's up, Psyche?
その日記はまずい。何しろ、まだ検閲が済んでいない。
Uh-huh.
君に見られる予定もない
Who。the fuck are you anyway? You and a rock, bunch of weirdos. I can accept Noel and Mario and stuff. You know, because they're just extra church goons, but I got fucking no reading on YouTube. My mind drifts away. The man's voice, it's...
君にはもう少し、あの未熟な当主殿をかき回して欲しかったのだがね。どうやってかは知らないが、鍵を手に入れたのが、君の不運ということだ。
I mean, you're gonna be real surprised when you search his pockets and find that he didn't have a key. By the time I notice, my breathing has long since ceased. The lines, once clear as day, are gone. This is my headache. Of course. Only now does it dawn on me. Those insufferable headaches were a kind of salvation. I mean, how am I supposed to wake up without them? Shikitono, whose body has lost its function long ago, drifts off into an eternal sleep. Well, that wasn't very good. Man, everyone's going to be pissed. Akia's going to be pissed. Arcueid's going to be pissed. Ciel and Noelle are just going to be indifferent because we've kind of given Ciel the cold shoulder this entire time. And I feel like Noelle just likes fucking with you, so hearing they died, it's just she'll be like, whatever. You know, Hisu is going to be distraught.
なぜ鳥は歌うのか
Kohaku
な
is
ぜエビ
going
は
to
跳ねる
secretly
の
giggle
か
to herself.
なぜ主人公は鍵のかかった部屋に入るのか
Because that's where you solve the murders in the locked room.
人類史における数々のミステリーに真っ向から挑む知能番組
Yep,
教え
Oshite
てシエ
Ciel
ル先生
Sensei.
あっちまるよ
こんにちは。デッドエンドのなかった6、8日間、十分にお休みできましたか？
Nope.
物語は
We've
い
been hitting
よ
them
いよ
left and
佳
right.
境。ここからまた死亡ケースが多発し
Oh,
ますので、
really? Already?
賢明な遠野くんにおかれましては、気を引き締めて選択肢を選んでいただければ。
Yep, no finding out
では
things too soon.
今回のデッドエンドですが、後ろからぐっさりですね。
メガネともあろう男が油断しすぎだよね、
Mhm.
それともあの包帯男見かけよりやるってこと
I mean, certainly.
あの部屋の異様
He's
さ
too
に
freaky
飲まれ
not to
て
be.
いたのもありますが、遠野くんの不注意ですね。そもそもこの手の潜入捜査は2人1組が理想です。
Yeah, I need someone to watch your back.
1人が扉のそばで誰か
Well,
来
you
な
know when
い
the
かを
cops
見
are
張
coming.
り、もう1人が書類を吟味する。そういった頼れる誰かと縁ができるまで、この書斎の調査は控えた方がよろしい
Oh,
か
gee, I
と。
wonder who that would be.
まさに SPY でもそんなスキル持った知り合いいる
I mean, Hisui would probably do it if we asked nicely, but then we'd have to answer questions about how you killed a fucking lock with a knife.
シエルは武闘派だからそういうの向いてに良さそうだし、
単独であればできないことはありませんが、遠野くんのフォローをしながら潜入
Yeah, for one, you'd have to be invited over to our house.
というのは確かに私向きではありませんね。いつかそういった見方ができればいいのですが。
Kohaku might do it just to stir the pot because it would be funny.
露骨にフラグを立てやがって、誰かな、メイドかな、そっちかな。
さあ、そこまでは何とも。少なくとも私たちの吸血鬼事件には関わりのない話でしょう。
Nope. Weird. It's almost like it's far away. Like it's on a different side from this route. Far away. Weird.
さて、今回の死因ははっきりしていますので、前の選択肢に戻るだけで OK です。君子危うきに近寄らず、当の巻久氏の書斎は避けて安全な場所を選びましょう。
Yeah, let's go hang out with Hisui instead or something.
屋敷の中もデストラップだらけとか、この屋敷どうなってんの？
And Getsutoya, it has plenty. So many times you end up in fucking Kohaku's drug basement. Continue. Alright, let's get back on track, yeah? And then go do another dead end. Jesus Christ.
体の調子は戻ったんだし、ここは
We'll go somewhere safe. After mulling over what to do, I decided to take my first walk around the estate in 7 years. I'll stick to the first floor for now, and make my way over to the courtyard. I find myself squinting from the sunlight peeking through the windows. The lobby never ceases to amaze me, mainly because you're not the one who has to get up there and clean those windows. When I was little, I used to get in trouble all the time for exploring the mansion. It seemed like a castle back then. I was so certain that if I looked hard enough, I'd find some secret passageway to another world. That sense of adventure is now gone, though, along with my nagging father. They're all in the past. I mean, it's not unreasonable that you would find a, secret,
昔は屋敷
you know,
の
quote
廊下を
unquote
歩くだけ
secret,
でドキドキしたっけ
either, maintenance access behind the walls to get to, the plumbing or something, or some servant passageways you have never taken before. Like a lot of old style estates and mansions will have servant hallways and staircases on the back side of the building that you can't really access from the rest of the building. With tucked away doors in places you wouldn't expect, so that way they can just move around the building without being seen by the more well-to-do folks. Because God forbid they see a middle class or lower person in their house. 7-year-old memories of me sneaking through the lobby begin to resurface. Spurred by those echoes of the past, I begin my stroll around the mansion. I head outside to the terrace. Strange as it is, I have a better recollection of the grounds than the mansion itself. It's hard to fathom just how enormous the estate is. If the mansion itself is 10 times bigger than most houses, then the land beneath it must rival the size of an amusement park. To a 10-year-old like me, it must have seemed like a dreamland, a fantasy world I could call my own. I'd spend the day roaming around, carving my name into the trees and the dirt. Aki and I had a game where we'd see who could claim the most territory. We decided at one point we would control any area we carved our name on. From there, we set out to tag pretty much everything we could find. Surprised you guys didn't get your asses beat. Jesus Christ. Most of the time we spent together was actually out here in the garden. Though unlike me, she listened to Makihisa, so she could only play for 30 minutes a day. Even so, all she did was follow closely behind us, listening carefully to what we said. But once we got going, she'd run around, turning everything into a competition.
なんだあいつ
Yeah,
昔から
we,
今の性格の
us.
下地があったんじゃないか
Strange. Could it have been a facade? An act she was putting on in front of the old man? Still, even if it were true, she's changed too much. Maybe I just don't understand how long 7 years can be. Time passes and children grow. Neither of us is who we were back then. Oh yeah, more ways than one. For the both of you.
おあったあった
There's a gazebo in the courtyard. At the base of one of the pillars, hidden from the sun's gaze, I find a name etched into the stone. I circle around the building, counting the names as I go. Shiki, Akia, Shiki, Shiki. It looks like this place was fought over 5 times. Most places are the same, with my name appearing a lot more than hers. Akia was still a little girl. She probably just couldn't keep up with my boundless energy.
まったく手加減ぐらいしてやればよかったのに
Yeah, weird. It's almost like, ooh, 2 people's effort went into this. Although it's not like I can go back and change what happened just because I feel bad about it now. He has always hated losing. From the looks of it, I bet I made her shed quite a few tears.
そうか案外この恨みを今になって晴らしてるのかもなはい
He is the last person I'd expect to do that, but there is something incredibly adorable about the thought of it.
ああなんか俺もとことんバカ兄貴だ
Just like bring it up over dinner one night, you know? It'd make for a good discussion topic. I chuckle wryly to myself before lifting my head. I've had some fun walking down memory lane. Maybe it's time I head back in. But before I turn to leave, something catches my eye. I spy another marking scratched onto the underside of the gazebo ceiling. The ceiling?
あんなところに
Yeah, what? How did that get carved there? I doubt an adult could even reach that high, let alone a child.
なんだろう俺の名前だけど
From within the gazebo, I put my feet onto the handrail to get a better look. The handrail on that gazebo that didn't have any rails, just columns? Okay. No, it's well hidden. Adults wouldn't be able to see it unless they were crouched at the correct angle. There, lurking in a hidden corner of the ceiling. Beware your brother. Fucking spooky. I don't understand. Beware your brother? This is Nikia's handwriting, which would mean I wrote this. Sudden sound draws my attention. Through the trees, I glimpse the brown and white of a maid's uniform.
翡翠
She hasn't noticed me. For whatever reason, she continues further into the forest.
なんで森に
All that's out there is more trees. So what could she possibly be doing? I don't know, maybe like the fucking source for one of the water mains is out there and she has to like turn it on or off, you know. It is, what time is it in the story? It's like October or something, right? You know, it's getting cold and maybe she's got to turn off the water main so the pipes don't burst. There's always a reasonable explanation for everything, Shiki. Or maybe she just likes walking in the woods. You know, she's on her lunch break. Let her do what she wants. Like, fuck off, dude. There's a path through the forest. No, it hasn't been paved. They say these woods were once the main part of the Tono family estate. Originally, the land where the mansion and the garden stand was just the entranceway to this forest. But after the war, the head of the family decided to change things to how they are now. I proceed through the woods. The trees aren't too dense, but they seem to stretch on into infinity. Eventually, I spot a strange building.
あんな建物あったっけ
I half expected Hisui to go inside, but instead she walks in the opposite direction. Maybe it's some kind of temple or gathering hall. I mean, it wouldn't be the strangest thing in the world. I'm pretty sure my old family estate has an old church on it. Or did. I don't know if it's still there. I've never been myself. I've only seen pictures and read about it in books. I continue treading along. After about 10 minutes of walking, the labyrinth of trees comes to an abrupt end.
広場だ
In the middle of the forest is an unnaturally open field. What could this place be? At the very least, I have no memory of it. If I hadn't tailed Hisui, I would have never known about this tiny patch of land buried deep in the forest.
こんなところあったかな
Seems like it's a really nice camping spot, though. You know, mow the grass. You know, put in like a picnic table, a bench. You know, maybe another little gazebo. Dig a fire pit. You know, smooth out some places for a couple tents.
あったなら格好の遊び場だけど
I have no recollection of playing in this clearing with Akia. At least, I don't think I do. I contemplate for a second before stepping into the clearing. Well, there's not much out here. Hisui, who had been ahead of me this whole time, is nowhere to be seen.
なんだただの空き地じゃないか
The sun beats down harder in the center of the clearing. Even looking down, its glaring white rays overtake my vision. I wonder if it's because I've been in the shade for so long. Feels like the middle of summer. Glancing upward, I find huge, fluffy clouds high in the sky. The air shimmers with heat, and the keening of cicadas eats at me. The cries of the cicadas when they cry. I've already made that joke. It's like pottery. It rhymes. My consciousness sizzles. My knees buckle, thudding into the scalding sand and soil. I know this place. I may have forgotten, but I know it. The summer sun batters my forehead. The screams of cicadas echoes in my ears. The smell of assaults my nostrils. At my feet lies a crumpled mass, dark and red, that was alive just moments ago. The wound on my chest flares, like a knife. Splitting skin and flesh, this pain punctures through my chest. I wonder what that was in the Japanese, if it was like ruby text or something. Cicadas screech, screech, screech. They wail for it to stop, stop. They cry for the dead, dead, dead. I hear more screeching of cicadas, even though it's already autumn. The sky's turning like Baja Blast color. Looking up, I feel the summer sun pierce my eyes. The tepid air makes me feel sick. I'm besieged by the sights and sound of empty shells. The husks of a cicada lies at my feet. A husk that was once a human. The wound splits open. A deluge of red spills out of the chest, coating my hands in a glistening crimson. I glimpse the silhouette of a figure slumped over, followed by the sound of a young girl's footsteps rushing towards it. Towering clouds sail high above in the distance. Beneath the blue sky, creatures have cast off the shell of this mortal coil. By the time I realize what's happening, I see Akia, bloodied and crying. He drank the grimace shake. Screech, 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 screech. I'm in hell. The shrill of the cicadas threatens to pierce my eardrums like a needle. What is this? My chest stings. I think I'm gonna be sick. My wound should have closed a long time ago. Why does it hurt so bad now? Feels busted. Unimpeded, a red fluid begins to flow. What's happening? My wound hasn't healed at all. It hurts. I'm scared. This is the impulse of death. My consciousness plummets. Pus blooms where my wound tore open. Ugh. My mind regresses, smothered by illusions of summer. Feels like my soul is escaping. I hear the soft thud of my body hitting the grass. Thanks for leading us here, Kohaku. That was, I'm sure, cool of you. And yes, I know what we saw. I can hear people talking.
秋葉様、お医者様をお呼びしないのですか？
バカなことは言わないで翡翠。呼べるわけがないでしょ。兄さんの傷は普通の傷じゃないんだから。
Akia and Hisui are speaking. This is Shiki's room. I'm sleeping on the bed. Yeah, not your room. My senses are finally back. I try to push myself up and break the tension with a greeting, but my body won't listen to my brain's command. Though the pain in my chest is gone, my entire body feels like lead. Looks like my mouth and eyes are the only thing I've got control over.
一体どういうつもりなの翡翠。兄さんをあの場所に近づけてはいけないって、あなたも知っているでしょうに。
申し訳ありません。
謝って済む問題じゃないわ。あなたを兄さん付きの使用人にしたのは、こういう事態を避けるためでしょ。
It's not her fault, you know, you should have put a bell on the guy.
それを忘れて、あなたは何をやっていたっていうのよ。
Akia is seething mad. This might be the most emotion I've seen from her. Isui had bowed, simply receives her scolding. I don't know what led to all this. All I can tell is that Hisui is getting yelled at because of me.
ほら、口にしてもらえないかしら、翡翠。
Now quit being such a bully, Akia.
あなたは
Jeez.
今日一日、どこで何をしていたのか。
She was cleaning the whole time, never
この
leaving
人
left the
が朝に
house.
倒れたことも報告せず、天津さえあの森に行かせてしまった。これは明確な意図があってのことよね。そうでなければ、犬以下の頭だもの。
Yeah, let's call it a misjudgment, you know.
答えなさい、翡翠。あなたも、私に逆らうつもりなの？
Hisui maintains her silence. The air in the room grows heavier with every breath. Akia bites her lip and takes a step forward. No, don't do it! It's obvious to me that she's going to strike her. Hisui continues to look down at the floor, ready to accept her punishment.
ちょっと待て、アキハ。
Yeah, workplace violence isn't allowed. You know, we'll get in trouble with the maids union.
兄さん、気がついたんですか？
Yeah, what are they going to strike? You can't fucking cook. It's not like she can cook either. What, we're gonna eat cup noodle?
ああ、アキハがあんまりにうるさいんで、今目が覚めた。
Akia looks away, visibly, there we go, uncomfortable. Hisui, meanwhile, has her eyes to the floor and won't even look in my direction.
あのさ、あんまり翡翠に当たるなよ。
Yeah, she's just a little guy, you know? Little cinnamon bun.
事情は知ら
Don't
ないけ
yell
ど
at、her.
俺が倒れたことで揉めてるんだろう。なら、翡翠に責任はない。こんなの、俺が勝手に倒れただけなんだから。
Urging strength into my arms, I lift myself up into a sitting position. That simple motion takes all the energy I have. At this point, I don't think I could lift a finger. But for Hisui's sake, I need to pretend like I'm okay.
まったく、お前も俺のことなんかで喧嘩するな。大人びたように見えて、まだ子供なんだな。
Let's nip this issue in the bud, Akia. You know, guys don't like jealous women.
でも、兄さんはあれからずっと気を失っていたんですよ。10時間以上も昏睡しているなんて今までなかったはずです。もし兄さんがあのまま目が覚めなかったら、
Weird that they
私
put
は
a
どう
line
すれ
break
ばいいん
right
です
there.
か？
I'm gonna chalk that up to a typo.
バカ。
Not really a
縁起でもない
typo,
こと
but you
言わ
know,
ないでくれ。こんなのは
a
ただの貧
formatting
血。
error is more like it.
なんだ？もう10時を回ってるのか？
Damn, slept the whole day, now I gotta sleep all night too? That
はい。
sucks.
ですから、兄さんはお昼から今までずっと気を失っていたんです。
Akia's tone is reserved. It's not my health I'm worried about. It's my promise to Arcueid. 10 o'clock, and don't you dare be late. She looked like she really meant that last part. I can only imagine what she'll put me through if I'm late again.
やばい。行かなくっちゃ。
Yeah, fuck, I got a date.
アキハ、ごめん。俺は出かけるから、後のことはよろしく頼む。あんまり翡翠をいじめるなよ。
Look, bud, there's just some things you can't do. I've had to cancel a date before because I had horrific food
そちらこそ
poisoning.
バカなことは言わないでください。
And I felt so bad about it because we had already had to reschedule once on my account. And then it's like, haha, I know I know we made these plans like a week ago, but guess what? I'm fucking puking and pooping and, you know, fucking bleeding from every orifice. And I wouldn't be the most fun person to be around right now, so I'm gonna, you know, stay at home and, you know, hugging, you know, my toilet instead of you, so have fun at the movie by yourself.
私、兄さんが毎夜どこに行くかなんてもう聞きません。聞きませんから。どうか今夜ぐらいはご自分の体を大事にしてあげてください。
Yeah, don't eat any more sketchy pork burritos from the base's BX food court. It'll fucking put you in the ground. She's genuinely pleading with me. Seeing her this worried, I can feel my determination start to waver.
でもこんなのはしょっちゅうなんだぞ。中学の頃なんて日に2回は倒れてたんだしさ。
The worst part of it is the next day, because my leadership sucked. I couldn't just stay home. I had to go into sick call, which is when you have to go in at like 7 a.m. and drive to the med group to go to like the clinic to get seen by a doctor, to get a fucking doctor's note saying, yeah, this guy's too sick to go to work. Go home instead. And I was really sick. Like, I had to bring a bucket in my car and drive with it in my lap to like fucking puke in it twice on my drive to work. And then I stumble into the doctor's office looking white as a sheet, you know, gaunt because I've been hucking everything out of my system for the past 24 hours. And they're just like, you skip everyone. You come with us right the fuck now. And they see me, they're like, how long have you been like this? I'm like, since last, like, afternoon. And they're like, okay. First off, we're gonna give you, like, 3 IVs filled with, like, liquid Tylenol. We're gonna prescribe you some anti-nausea medication. Zofran, my beloved. I wish I could get it to just have it on hand. It's a anti-nausea medication given to, like, cancer patients going through chemo. It like blocks the receptors in your brain that control like the urge to vomit. So that way you just like, I'm not gonna say you can't, but it's a lot harder for you to do that. And they're like, go home right now and we'll call your leadership to tell them that they're dumb fucking pieces of shit for making you come in like this. And I'm like, thanks, Doc. And then I drove back home, feeling a lot better, because I talked about before, I love getting a cold IV drip if I'm sick. Because, you know, one, you're feverish, you feel like shit, I'm dehydrated as hell, and getting like cold liquid literally flowing through your veins, it's ungodly, or godly, you know, unworldly, there we go. Feels fantastic.
だから余計に心配なんです。兄さん、お願いだから今日ぐらいは私の言うことを聞いてください。
He appears into me, anxiously awaiting my response. I tell my sister to fuck off, the blonde woman's waiting for me, and then proceed to die. Or are we just gonna lie to her face and be like, yeah, sure, whatever you say, sis. And then try to sneak out the window on our rope ladder we pre-prepared, but then fall off because we were sick as shit and crack our neck and die. I'm glad that Akia's worried about me, but I can't break my promise with Arcueid.
わかった。今日はおとなしく眠ることにする。
He lied as easily as he breathed. I lower my torso back down on the bed.
本当ですか？後になって部屋を抜け出したりするのもなしですよ。
あのな、こんな体でアキアたちの目を盗んで外に出られると思うか？
You're slippery little weasel.
言われてみればそうですね。
Akia lowers her shoulders, obviously relieved.
翡翠、琥珀に兄さんが目を覚ましたことを伝えに行って。兄さん、夕食はどうしますか？
What do you think?
いや、食事はちょっと。琥珀さんには悪いけど食べられそうにない。ああ、でも飲み物くらいなら通るから 野菜ジュースとかあったら助かる。
わかりました。翡翠、そう琥珀に伝えてきて。
Do we have like a juicer, like a food processor in the kitchen?
かしこまりました。
You know, get some real good
野
fruit
菜ジュー
juice.
ス、人参、トマト、白菜、キャベツ、赤ピーマン、梅などのミックスを
That
指
sounds
揮。
really good. I fucking love tomato juice.
あ
I'm not familiar with that recipe. Maybe it's a Kohaku special? No, that definitely off the cuff Hisui special right there. You can tell because of the plum.
では私も退出します。
Maybe it's just
何か
added
あり
for
ました
color
ら
though.
遠慮なく呼んでください。
Also, there's a lot of cabbage
何
in
時だ
that.
ろうとすぐに駆けつけますから。
Just like give me a shot of espresso and an unfiltered, you know, Arabian cigarette, and I'll be good to go. Extra tarry.
すまない。アキハ。
I want to be able to pave a road, you know, with the stuff coming out of my lungs when I'm coughing after ripping that ciggy. I whisper as I rouse myself from bed. Ow. Now, the light is off, but my vision flickers between black and white. Simply standing up is enough to sap my consciousness away. And this is far from my usual anemia. Even so, I have to get to the park. It's her we're talking about. Who knows how many hours she'll waste waiting if I don't. My unsteady steps carry me to my desk. I take my knife. Now this is a knife. I take my knife from the drawer and put it on my jacket. On your jacket or in it? Do you have like a sheath for your knife, like it's a fucking bayonet holster that I just bumped with mine?
盗めない。
Always stay prepared, folks. In case I need to do a Call of Duty QuickTime event to take out a rabid dog trying to rip my throat out. Gotta have it on me. I need to rest until I can at least run. Unless I want to get caught by Hisui and sent back to my room.
なんだ。結局。
Oh god, Hisui's the pursuer enemy. Like Mr. X or fucking Nemesis. Gonna be even later than yesterday, and Arcueid will give me another earful. Though, maybe that won't be so bad. I plop myself onto the floor. I might actually go in and cut out that when I bumped the mic, because that was really loud. Probably fucking throw your headphones off if you're listening with them on. 1 hour. Just rest for 1 hour. I should at least be able to walk. I arrive at the park just before midnight. I'm strong enough to shuffle along, but my snail's pace added an extra hour to the trip. How did they not catch you? Like, it's not like you could have gone too quickly. It's like by the time they got to the room to find you, you know, not there, you probably weren't even, like, off the mansion grounds yet. Shoulders heaving, I do a quick sweep of the area. White woman spotted. At the rest area where we usually meet, I spot her. A white silhouette standing starkly against the shadowed park.
やっぱり。待ってた。
Arcueid seems to have noticed me. Hello. She walks straight to me, her boots tapping against the ground.
今夜も壮大な意地悪。恐れ入るわ。
Yeah, you know, fucking keep those sharp words to yourself until you see the state he's in.
来てくれたからいいけど、2時間もオーバーした理由をたっぷり。
Mm-hmm, there you go. Arcueid cuts herself short the second she sees my face.
ちょっと、どうしたのシキ？
Yeah, you look like death.
顔は真っ青だし、正気も全然感じられないし。もしかして、先に死者探しをしてきちゃった？
Oh, weird. It's almost like someone's sucking my soul out.
どんな冒険野郎だよ、俺
And
は。
like not in a like awesome erotic way, like a shitty necromancy way.
そんなんじゃなくて、ちょっと貧血気味なんだ。時々こういう風になるから、そう驚かなくていい。
Yeah, tokidoki, you know, happens sometimes, you know, don't worry about
そ
it.
れより、ごめんな。2時間も待たせちまって。できるだけ早く来たつもりなんだけど。
You really think you're gonna be any help in this state,
私は
bud?
別に気にしてないけど。さっきまでずっとなんで遅れてるんだろうって考えてい
Yeah,
た
but
け
this
ど、
is bad.
ほんとわかんない。そんな体で出てくるなんて変だよ、シキ。
だって、約束だろ。アルクエイドの手伝いをするって言ったんだから。それにほら、昨日のこともあるし。お前を一人にしていたら、それこそどんな事件が追加されるか。
She probably would have just come to your house and like jumped up to your window and busted on in and be like, "Yo, fucking dipshit, where you been?"
それは嬉しいけど、後半のは余計だけど、やっぱりおかしい。こんなのいくらなんでもひどすぎる。
Mm-hmm. It's like you're a corpse.
ひどいって何が？
You.
そういう全然自分の体を分かってないところ。人間の命は不安定なものだけど、四季はその揺れ幅が大きすぎる。
Yeah, it's like it's in a tug of war or something. Really stretched thin. Fraying.
当の四季は普段からとても死に近いところに立っている。それが直視の魔眼の反動か、今日までの運命の対象かは分からないけど、
A little column A,
波のよ
little
うに
column
生
B.
と死の境界を行き来している。だからあなたの貧血とやらは前も大丈夫だったから今回も大丈夫なんていうものじゃない。いい意識。あなたは外的要因の死には抵抗がある。きっと一度そういった要因の臨死を体験したからでしょうね。
Yeah, you're not saying you didn't get stronger by almost dying. It's more like you just got fucking maimed.
けどその反面、内的要因の死には抵抗力がまるでな
No,
い。
unless you consider getting mystic eyes of death perception getting stronger. It's a
頻
bit
繁
more of
に
a
貧
payoff
血で
than, you
倒れ
know,
るのは
how Saiyans work.
体が
But
行っている防護策なのよ、きっと。人間は内側の異常には気づけないけど、あなたの体は
It's the
それを
pressure relief
本能的に感知している。
if shit's
これ
getting
以
too
上は
hard, it
取
just
り返し
kind
が
of
つかなくなる
fires
と
and
い
it's
う
like, oh,
時、
nope, time for you to rest.
強制的にあなたを休ませようという。今の貧血だって本来なら死んでいてもおかしくない男性のはず。覚醒できたのはたまたま運が良かったからと思いなさい。
Well, damn, that's pretty heavy. I wouldn't quite say the scales have fallen from my eyes, but her explanation tracks. I nod along. I've always thought of my anemia as my body doing the equivalent of a forced shutdown on a computer. But I guess you can look at it the opposite way, too. As Arcueid would have it, my anemia isn't a symptom of my weak constitution. It's more like a breaker tripping before my circuits get completely fried.
なんか大げさな物言いだけど。
But let me get this straight.
つまり、貧血になってる時は、指先一つでコロッと行きやすいってこと？
Yes. I think back on every miserable morning of these past 7 years.
もう私は本気で忠告してるの。でも来てくれてありがとう。今夜はもう帰ってゆっくり体を休めなさい。
Thanks, Art. You'd at least carry us, you know. Without warning, she draws in close. Oh, she must be really worried to approach me so vulnerably. Arcueid's chest presses against mine before I can pull back. Booba. A dizziness wholly unlike the kind I'm used to pervades my mind. It's like, no, Ark, stop. I need all my blood in my heart right now. It can't go anywhere else. If it does, I'll literally die. I've tried to ignore it, but right now I'm all too aware of the softness of her chest, of her porcelain skin, of her hair. Golden and smoother than silk, her captivating charms assault my senses.
ごめん、アルクエイド。ちょっと離れてくれ。
Now, what does Ark smell like? I know she's an earth spirit, so does she smell like dirt? You know, a nice earthy scent? Or, does she even need to use shampoo because she has like perfect body or something?
何よ、私の言葉は信用
Can
で
she
きない
even
ってい
get
うの？
grimy?
吸血鬼だから？
何今さらそんなこと言ってるんだ。
Mm-hmm.
アルクエイドのことを信じないわけがないだろう。
It's a little too stimulating for this teenage boy.
嘘。じゃあなんで視線をそらしているの？
だから
Because I feel
あ
like
く
I'll
まで
fall
俺の
into them
個人
forever
的
and
な
never
理由で
escape.
ちょっと離れてほしい。そう近くに来られると俺も男だから困る。
In her eyes, make her back down, make her blush, look away. Challenge. Whew. For the time being, I've escaped one of the sources of my dizziness. Two was absolute terror.
とにかくアルクエイドに心配してもらうほどじゃない。
Oh, she already make her escape?
だいたい昨日の夜みたいに襲われたら今度こそ殺されるかもしれないんだからこっちも休ん
Oh
で
yeah,
はいら
maybe
れな
you
いんだ
should
よ。
have like led with that. Like, hey, the church like fucking tried to kill me?
待って。どういうこと？
Yeah,
だから屋敷に帰るとき
my
に
substitute teacher.
そうか。まずこれを報告しないと。
Yeah, that's pretty important.
アルクエイド、俺昨日の夜に死者に襲われた。
But it was like
俺が
really
一人で
strong.
屋敷に戻るところ待ち構えていたんだと思う。
Fucking tried to jump his ass. Arcueid's expression grows stern.
信じられない。どうしてそんな大事なことを忘れていられるのよ、あなたは。
Look, man, it's been a busy day.
面目ない。でもほら、死ななきゃ安いというか。
バカ、そんなだから心配してるの、私は。
Yeah, he deserves that one. At this point, I can't help it. Each and every day, there's some new, stranger thing going on.
まあいいわ。それより詳しい話を聞かせて。
Arcueid stares at me, her fierce gaze demanding an explanation. I calm myself down and try to explain the attack in as much detail as possible. Though I leave out the part about my shrouded assailant being able to seal my lines of death. I don't have any conclusive proof, so it could have just been my imagination. Yeah, he just so happened to be going for my weak points, which is where my lines of death would naturally be. Correlation does not equal a cause.
というわけなんだけど。
It's like if you look at the graph between, Internet Explorer adoption rates and the rate of murder in the United States, they're like a dead-on match. After catching her up, I peek at Arcueid to gauge her reaction. But there is a strong correlation and, cause correlation between the use of leaded gasoline and the rate of murders in the US. Because exposure to lead, one of the symptoms is lower inhibition and more volatile actions and not being able to think things through and being prone to violence. So yeah. From start to finish, her eyes remained focused, her brow knitted in consternation.
どうなんだ、アルクエイド。真っ黒い死者とシスター服の女はお前の敵なのか？
Yes and yes, but slightly different.
そうね。両方とも私の敵よ。その死者は何者だか知らないけど、修道服を着た女のことなら見当はつく。シキを助けたやつは私と顔見知りかもしれない。確かにあの女なら私より先に敵
Oh,
を見
let's
つけ出
just
せ
go
る。
ask her for help then, A little team up. Arcueid bites her lip in frustration. Her irritation is verging on rage.
アルクエイド。俺を助けてくれたシスターはお前が前に言
Oh
っていた。
damn, I don't know. Is that nun a part of the church? Who could say?
ええ、教会の異端狩りよ。シキを助けたやつはそこで一番厄介な部署の代行者。
What, burial agency?
けどおかしいな。埋葬機関がこんなに早く代行者を送ってくるはずはないんだけど。
Almost like they were here beforehand. Weird.
そんなことより、 シキはどうして戦ったりしたの？
She kind of started it.
私に協力してくれるって言ったけど、一人で戦うとは言わなかったわ。
It was less of a fight and more she kicked our ass. But, you know, we can be a little quiet about that part. Arcueid turns her glare towards me. Wow, she's actually worried for me.
ああ、もうすっごく損した気分。私に内緒でそんな楽しそうなことするなんて。
With another woman, no less.
活躍のチャンス逃しちゃったじゃない。
Or maybe not.
聞いていいか？さっきまでの深刻な空気はどこに？
本気で怒ってるの。
Mhm.
せっかくシキと一緒に戦えると思ったのに。
Yeah, it would have been such a good, like, bonding, team building exercise, you know, watching each other's backs, going in, you know, when one's got her distracted, you know, hitting that button, come as a striker and hit her when her guard's down. You know, extend the combo.
あのな、一人でやり合うことになったのは成り行きだよ、成り行き。
I skipped it. Where'd it go? May not be appropriate right now, but it makes me happy that she feels that way.
俺はお前抜きで吸血鬼と戦う気はないんだか
Yeah, it just kind of all fell into his lap.
ふん。成り行きってどんな？
Because they were in front of my house and I couldn't get in.
ら。世間一般で言うところの正義感なのかもしれない。
正義感？
Like, what, was just turn around and come back to this park and sleep on the bed? Shouldn't be like, oh, well, guess I gotta fucking give up my house because there's a fucking crazy knife zombie at the front gate. Well, just ignore that. Maybe he'll go away on his own eventually when he gets hungry. She tilts her head like I've just spouted gibberish. Ultimately, it's probably is. Yesterday made me realize there's no greater, higher calling to it all. When it happened, when I saw that silhouette in front of me, all I felt was fear. As I realized how abnormal my opponent was, I was shaken to my core. I then took out my knife, and we began our duel to the death, which was so rudely interrupted. My morality tells me that people shouldn't kill each other. My self-preservation instinct, the desire not to die, isn't helping either. After all, someone else's death isn't inherently relevant to my own. In this life or death situation, cold logic serves me best. If I kill him, I'll survive. If I don't, I'm dead. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it is morally correct to just fucking murk someone. Good job. It's a conclusion to end all conclusions. Motivation and certainty are all that drive me now. Especially when, you know, they're an undead fucking abomination zombie vampire thing.
いや、
It is morally justified to put them in the dirt.
ほら、一段落ついたところで始めようぜ。せっかく来たんだから、街を徘徊してる死者の一人でも見つけ出さないともっ
But
たいな
you're
い。
of no help.
あのね、本気で怒るわよ、シキ。
Yeah, you'll take off your glasses and just fucking die of a heart attack on the spot.
それとこれは話が別。ちゃんと休んでって言ったでしょ。死者の食堂もあらかた片付けたところだし、今夜は様子を見て明日に備えましょう。
Arcueid's grim expression leaves no room for rebuttal. When she says it that firmly, I've got no choice but to agree with her. It's not like I'd be able to search for vampires alone in the first place.
わかった。アルクエイドがそこまで言うんなら、今夜はおとなしく休む。
素直でよろしい。シキは夕べ襲われただけじゃなくて、そんなに体が弱っているんだもの。今晩はぐっすり眠って、明日までにはいつもの式に戻ってもらわないと、私が困るわ。
ああ、そうか。協力者が足手まといになってたら話にならない。オッケー。明日までには体力を回復させておく。
Yeah, we'll ask Kohaku to make us some mysterious medicine.
そういう意味じゃないんだけどな。
That turns out to, like, just be meth. Arcueid seems dissatisfied. I don't know if I'll ever understand how she thinks. She doesn't.
じゃあ屋敷に戻るよ。また明日な、アルクエイド。
Her actions are like a sea sponge, you know, there's no thoughts, it's all just reaction to stimulus. I wave as I turn to leave.
ねえシキ、
I turn back to face her.
なんだよ、まだ何かあるのか。
どうしてもって言うならなんだけど。
Yeah, could you, like, carry us? It'd be a lot quicker to get us back home, because at this rate, it took him 2 hours to get down the hill. It's gonna take him like 4 hours to get back, and by then the sun's gonna be up. You could take us there in like two minutes.
私送っていこうか。
Hooray! Arcueid averts her gaze, her voice unsure. It seems that after what happened last night, she's concerned for me in her own way. Knowing that, the offer doesn't really sound too bad. And yet...
いや、やめとく。屋敷の周りでお前といるところを誰かに見られたら、それこそ明日の朝が怖い。
I mean, again, just have her, like, princess carry you and, like, jump through the trees.
大丈
No
夫。
one would even have to see
もう
you.
一人で歩けるし。こんなの、お前が心配する筋合いでもないしな。
She could even, like, drop you off in, like,
うん。
the brush a little ways away from the gate, so it's like, oh, when they look in the cameras to see what happened, it's like, oh, he just kind of snuck through the brush, I guess. Like a fucking freak. Surprisingly clean for it. He must be good at bushwhacking. For the slightest moment, Arcueid cast her eyes downward before looking up again.
それじゃまた明日ね。
Bye-bye. The vampire in white waves goodbye before vanishing into the night. All right, who's gonna kill us this time? I guess we can save. Actually, no, we're not gonna save. Because we're gonna dead end and then immediately... Or maybe not. I don't know, we'll let this play out. Malfunction. Load threshold exceeded. Oh, I guess he just died in his sleep or something. A broken vessel cannot be mended. Broken tableware serves no use. It's unsightly. So it's better hidden in the back of the shelf. I dreamed of the moon. Don't remember where I was or why I was looking at it. Maybe I didn't want to look at anything else. And when I glanced up at the night sky, the moon was the only thing there. My spine creaks. A midwinter chill courses through my veins. Alone in the darkness, dizziness takes over me. Above me sits the moon, dizzying, blinding, enchanting, maddening. How strange. Instead of suffocating me, this cruel cold feels oddly comforting in its familiarity.
シキ様、
Hisui's voice filters through the early morning light.
シキ様、お目覚めの時間です。
Her monotonous voice brings me back to my senses. Terrible things flood my vision the moment I open my eyes. It's like a bullet blasting through my brain. I've only just woken up. I already feel like I might pass out. I fumble for my glasses, rushing to put them on before my vertigo gets any worse.
シキ様、ご気分が優れないのですか？
Yeah, he's dying.
いや、昨日の疲れがまだ残ってるだけ。すぐに良くなるから、心配は無用だよ。
Well, I guess he snuck out after he drank his vegetable juice. So they don't, you know, well, at least Akia doesn't know that he snuck out. Obviously, Hisui would. Giving my head a light shake, I banish those awful lines from my memory. Ah, this is the price I have to pay for keeping my word to Arcueid. But damn if my senses aren't feeling dull today.
おはよう、翡翠。今朝も起こしに来てくれてありがとう。
Pushing myself to sit up straight, I smile as naturally as I can.
いえ、これが私の仕事ですから。シキ様に感謝されるほどのことではありません。
She's like, yeah, that's what I get paid for.
そうかな。俺はすごくありがたいけど、目覚まし時計の音なんかより何倍もあったかい感じがする。
A lot prettier, too. And it's all thanks to her that I could wake up again today. For the last time. I get out of bed. It's a little before 7. I'm up about 10 minutes earlier than usual.
朝食だろ。すぐに行くから先に行ってていいよ。
はい。それでは食堂でお待ちしております。
Isui gives me her usual small bow and quietly leaves the room. Or not.
四季様。
So you look like fucking shit.
ん？他に何か伝言とか？
いいえ。何でもありません。どうか
Okay.
今日一日、健やかにお過ごしください。
Well, that's a weird thing to say. With that, Isui leaves the room. Now then. I'm gonna sneeze. I can feel it. Ugh. Ugh. My body might not be in top shape, but it's not like I feel bad enough to call in sick. I'm sure I'll feel fine after I have some of Kohaku's homemade breakfast. Go down there and get a greasy full English first thing in the morning. Get your iron up with some of that fucking blood sausage. When I get to the parlor, I find Akia seated on the sofa and Hisui standing by the wall.
おはようございます、兄さん。昨夜はゆっくり休まれましたか？
Nope.
ああ。おはよう、アキラ。
There's a certain bounce to her voice, betraying an out-of-character cheerfulness. A good mood is indicative of good mental health, so I'm happy to see it. But something's weird here.
どうしたんだよ。制服に着替えなくていいのか？
Are we trapped within like a dream within a dream?
本日は自主休校とさせていただきました。屋敷の方でやることができましたので。兄さんはいつも通り学校ですか？どうぞ気ままな学生気分を堪
Yeah,
能
this
して
is
きて
too
く
weird
だ
to
さ
be
い。
reality. I could see she's in a good mood, but she also seems strangely excited.
それにしても今朝は顔色がいいんですね。
Lies.
やっぱり昨夜ゆっくり休んでくれたからですか？
まあな。今朝は起きるのも早かったし。
それならもう心配する必要はないですね。
The real Akia would never smile like this.
兄さんが言うことを聞いてくれる人でよ
She's
かっ
never happy
た。
about anything. Ouch. Right in the guilt. Keeping my word to Arcueid came at the cost of betraying Akia. The fact that I came back without exhausting myself doesn't change the fact that I lied to her. I'd better make a quick retreat before I do anything to give away how tired I am.
その、食堂で朝食をもらってくる。食べたら学校に行くから、俺のことは気にしなくていいぞ。
Yeah, go to school and meet up with my good friends. You know, Ciel and Arihiko and that other one and my cute teacher, Noelle.
わかりました。でもまだ何かあるようでしたら遠慮なく立ち寄ってください。あと少しだけここで待っていますから。
Who knows, there might even be a new mysterious foreign transfer student. With striking blonde hair and red eyes. Breakfast ought to put some energy back in my tired limbs. Hiding my less than ideal condition from Akia, I head for the dining room. As soon as I finish breakfast, I leave for school. I was overly optimistic to think that breakfast would make me feel better, especially since I've never been able to eat much in the morning to begin with. My appetite was gone from the start. As a result, it took me more than 30 minutes to finish eating. Long time for a growing student.
今朝は適切なお食事を用意せず申し訳ありませんでした。
Dude, don't worry. This fucking kid has the like
明日こそ
the
は必
palate of
ず
a
四季さんの
7-year-old
目に
child.
星が散るような朝食をご用意しますから
Only wants fucking chicken nuggets and mac and cheese whenever he goes to whatever restaurant. Kawaku clutched her hands in front of her chest in a show of fierce determination. For once, it's her who's sending me off instead of Hisui. I guess it's because she doesn't have to accompany Akia
い
today.
え、こっちこそ食が細くてごめんなさい。いつもご迷惑をおかけします。
Yeah, fucking. Oh, next time, just make him a plate of the dinosaur nuggets and the smiley French fries. Kawaku stares at me in silence, as she is wont to do, for just a moment. She's like, "Oh, if only you knew. If only you fucking knew." Her perfectly unchanging eyes remind me of a machine.
琥珀さん、俺の顔何かついてます。
She's like, "If only you knew how much I fucking hate you."
いえ
With every
そうい
fiber
う
of my
わ
being.
けではないのですが四季さんの顔の色
It's
が
just
す
like
み
I
れ
was
ないので
imagining you fucking vaporizing in front of me. A pang of dread hits me. Kia didn't notice anything. Do I actually look that bad?
やっぱりお止めするべきですよね明葉様もいらっしゃいますし四季さんも今日は学校をお休みになられては
ああ、いや、大丈夫。少し体が重いだけ。昨日のこ
Yeah,
とで
this
心
many
配する
days
の
in
は
a
わかるけ
row,
ど、
you know.
行けるときは学校に行っておきたいし。
It's like I'll be behind with school, think of all the homework I need to do. Like, I need to go.
もうそんな優しい顔で言われてはお咎めもできませんわかりました
Hooray!
明葉様には内緒にしておきます
I guess our closest friend and confidant, Kohaku.
でも本当に無理は禁物ですよ
ですね。今日は早めに帰ってきて休みますから、それで多めに見てください。
Yeah, you know, we'll flake out in the middle of class, but you know, gotta at least show face.
はいおかえりお待ちしています
You know, let them know we're on the upswing. Kawaku sees me off with a smile. It's not that I'm trying to give truth to my lies, but I do think I'll head right home after classes finish. That'll give me some time to rest, as well as the opportunity to reassure Aki and the others that I'm fine before meeting Arcueid. Just don't get like hit by a bus or something. That'd be embarrassing. Just a dump truck flattens you. I'm on my way to school. My limbs still feel stiff as I descend the hill, like I'm wearing someone else's body. Ew. I'm expecting this feeling to have passed. I expected this feeling to have. Let's just start that whole sentence over. My brain's melting. I expected this feeling to have passed by now, but I've had no such luck. It still feels like I'm dragging myself through a swamp. I get to the classroom. We're in the middle of second period. The teacher, for my lateness, and my seat. Sitting down, I could finally. It's lunch now. Arhiko is absent, which isn't too unnatural. But there's another empty seat that draws my attention. Yumizuka's. She's probably absent due to a cold or some other perfectly normal reason. Totally not just living in an alleyway. Fucking on some Amazon boxes. Now, what should I do for lunch today? Eat. Right. If I don't eat, I won't get any better. Except I don't have any appetite at all. Not because I feel sick, but more because I feel like I've lost the ability to function. So, there's no need for me to eat. No reason for me to rise from this chair. No energy to expend standing. No excess to waste. Strangest thing is that I accept my new condition without a moment's hesitation. Class is in session. Which class is this? I can't remember what we had for 5th period today. I see the blackboard. I hear the teacher's voice. None of it makes any sense. The universe and everything within it have become incomprehensible. The letters on the board blur together like smears of paint being washed away. I don't feel so good. The entire classroom is tilted. My sense of balance abandons me. It's like tumbling down a hill. Try to cling on to something for dear life. This world is smoothless, featureless. I don't know if that's supposed to be like is memory functions are freaking out, or if that's actually a typo that they put in world is twice on accident. My consciousness slips and twists. I fall from the chair, unable to resist. Like a dropped bowling ball, I hit the floor with a hard, heavy, ugly noise. One of the girls screams. I vaguely register the quickening footsteps of the teacher approaching me. I'm no longer conscious, but somewhere off to the side, I calmly watch the aftermath of my fall. Well, that's not good. After that, things played out the same way they always do. I passed out from anemia, so I'm carried to the nurse's office, which is where I slumber in one of the beds until I feel better. But by the time it hits 7 in the evening, I'm still running a 38-degree fever, so the school nurse contacts the Tono mansion to arrange a pickup. It's like, yeah, bring the hearse. Be fucking quicker this way. Doesn't take long for someone to arrive. Like a shot from a movie, a luxurious black car rolls into the school's parking lot and slows to a halt. The car transports me not to a hospital, but back to the mansion. And that makes sense. It's only a fever. My body is heavy, and I'm still fully conscious. The black car drives through the night-filled city, apathetic to the mundanity of the world around it. It's just me and the chauffeur. I haven't spoken a word. Shikitono sits in the back, fastened in place by a seatbelt. The air is stifling in and outside of the car. Feels more like a hearse, huh? I think of a joke, but I stop myself from saying it. Yeah, what if you die in the back? You know, gonna give this poor caddy, you know, drama. I mean, not trauma, trauma. There we go. With a T, not a D. I suppose he's not really a caddy. He probably is like on call for the Tono family. The old mansion comes into view once we cross through the arch of the dark trees. I sigh. Combination of wonder and resignation. The mansion still looks as it did 7 years ago. Every decent castle has a dungeon built into it. A place to keep fearsome things, evil things, things that deviate from the norm. All that must be quarantined from the rest of the world. Hello, Hisui.
お話は聞いております。すぐにベッドまでお連れしますので、それまでもうしばらくご辛抱を。
The maid greets me in the lobby. I just about managed to make it through the front door, but my knees give out soon after and I almost collapse into the carpet.
危ない。失礼しました。どうぞこちらに。まだ熱があるのですね。
Servant manages to catch Shikitono just before he falls, and now offers her a shoulder to lean on. That's fine. I can still walk at least. Thanks, though. I know how much you hate being touched. I reply to her with all the strength I can muster.
確かに苦手です。
Did that scene happen in this? I don't think it did. You know, where Shiki, I forget what it was for, but he like tried to reach out and like grab Hisui's shoulder for something, and she like swats his hand away and looks at him like really hard, like do not fucking do that.
ですが、今はシキ様の手当てを優先させていただきます。秋葉様や姉には黙っていますので、どうかお体を私にお預けください。
Okay.
シキ様が病気がちなのは、シキ様のせいではありません。人間、 誰だって頼りたいし、頼られたいものなのですから。
She softly squeezes my cold hands. All right, if you insist. Obediently, I follow the gentle voice's instructions. In me, there exists a desire to be relied on, and to rely on others. To be protected and to protect. To be given life and to give life. It all makes sense now. While they may have opposing directions, they don't contradict one another in the slightest. They encompass cravings we all simultaneously yearn for.
階段を登りますので、ご注意のほどを。
Look, I don't think the stairs are a very good idea, Hisui. Can we take like a service elevator or something? This house has got to have one. The maid guides me by the hand. Every step causes my surroundings to flicker as I teeter back and forth through existence. Fucking me stumbling up the stairs to my bedroom when I'm super drunk. Still consumed by this haze, I let her lead the way. Huh? This isn't right. We're going the wrong direction. We're headed for the East Wing, the place where Shikitono is not permitted to tread. Up ahead. Up ahead lies... This is the wrong way. Shikitono's voice echoes through the hall. The maid doesn't reply. It isn't just her voice that's missing. The gentle touch of her hands and the familiar presence of her uniform are nowhere to be found. What? I force my unsettled mind to take note of my surroundings. There's no one in the hallway. There's no sound. I can hardly feel anything. Now that I'm actually looking, there's no entrance or exit. Like unwanted junk that no longer serves any purpose. I've been left to gather dust at the back of a massive drawer. I collapse like a building shaken from its foundation. Shikitono must have invited the ire of whatever was keeping him alive. The ground feels like a soft cushion. Perhaps a hard tatami mat woven from grass. As I've lost all sensation in my skin, I won't know the answer until the next time I wake up. It all ends with no explanation. Though the truth remains hidden, the curtain still falls. An abrupt conclusion, perfectly suited to Shikitono. Weird. Weird. Teach me, Miss CL, was that real? Was that a dream? It seems like it might have just all been a dream that day, you know? The last flickering neurons in a dying Tonoshiki's mind as he crawled back to bed after hanging out with Arcueid.
Hmm? 普通に10日目が始まったと思ったら普通に学校に行って
weird.
普通にエンドになったよ。
Almost like you used all the gas in your tank.
これどうなってんのシエル。エラこの先作ってないのかにゃ。どう考
I mean,
え
they
ても
kinda
悪い
did, you
選
know.
択はしてにゃい
It's
し
only 2 out of 5 routes.
え妹との約束を破った？でも金髪美少女との約束の方が大事っし
Of
ょ。
course, of course.
これこそ正解ルートのはず
Yeah,
にゃ
she's
ん
on
だ
the
けど。
box art. We can't ignore her.
何を言っているんですか。
You know, not like some tertiary little sister character who doesn't even have her own arc in this game. Referring to the remake part 1.
明葉さんがあれほど心配していたのに出かけてしまうなんて、お兄さん失格です。今まで何度も
Well, I
倒
can
れてきた
ignore my
遠野
sister
くん
all
で
I
すが、
want because
こ
I'm
の
the
日の体調
Ototo.
不良は特別なものです。半日は休んでいないと回復しない不調ですから、しっかり休んでくださいね。
Mm-hmm.
もちろんアルクエイドとの待ち合わせは全然無視して OK です。
Thanks, Curry.
所詮口約束なので法的強制力もなければ違約金も発生しませんしね。
そういう問題じゃにゃいんだけどね。心と心の問題にゃんだけどね。
Yes, I need the pretty blonde woman to soothe my woes.
でもそういった心のすれ違いが次のロマンスを生み出すのよね。
Mm-hmm. The time apart.
感じる。すぐ近くにデートイベントの気配を感じる。
Yeah, we go to the movies and eat hamburgers.
あ、シエルにはないんだっけデートイベント。
No.
ソーリー、恵まれすぎてソーリー。
Sucks to suck.
いえその分こちらは夜だけでなく学校で長時間過ごさせていただいているのでお気になさらず。
Yeah, but when you look at the first popularity polls, who is at number 5 out of
遠
5?
野くんとのトーク時間は当社比4対6で私の方が上ですので。
はあ、どうせ長ったらしい教会の設定語りでしょ。
One to talk. How many times have you
吸
got the
血鬼社
whiteboard
会
out?
の説明よりはよっぽど短いですよ。基本的には頼れる先輩と迷える後輩の
Yeah,
清らかな
guys
男
just
女
love
交際トー
hearing
クです。
the Christian girls they're interested in just ramble at them about the fucking hierarchy and doctrine of the Catholic Church. It's like, wow, you know, what encompasses a diocese again? Oh, how are bishops chosen? Wow, that's so cool.
学校なら私も行ったし。
Does the wine and bread literally turn into the flesh and blood of Jesus Christ? Wow, interesting.
不法侵入とかあなたらしいですけどね。
Like that's how you're gonna start some fucking fights.
戦闘ドレス等々着替えもあるし。
あのブローブに即落ちした出だしだけは良かったですね。
よしげー
しゃっ。
All right, say that for Melty. Well, that one went on for a little longer than I expected, so I'll have to call it here, folks. We didn't get very far. We mainly spent the entire day getting dead ends, but you know, got some interesting lore tidbits, I suppose. But that is going to be where we're going to have to call it. So, once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell. See you guys on next time for the next episode of Tsukihime Remake. Go down to the description and join the Discord, I guess. Okay, bye now. Mwah.